Hello there, welcome to CoreTV News at this hour. I am Gift Ogete. President Goodluck Jonathan says his administration has empowered 2,500 young entrepreneurs as well as created 5,400 direct jobs. He also said each of the young entrepreneurs has since created an average of 9 jobs to bring the total job created indirectly by the administration to 22,000. President Jonathan wheeled out this figure at the launch of Youth Entrepreneurship Strategy in Abuja. Has said the feat was achieved through the federal government's Youth Enterprise with Innovation in Nigeria, UWIN.
So far, about 22,000 young graduates have been placed under this program, and we are ramping up efforts to ensure that many more graduates are supported. We also have a program called the UWIN, which of course has testimonies and the agripreneurs to support highly skilled youth and budding entrepreneurs. These programs have been designed to ensure that young Nigerians get training, mentoring, and more critically, access to finance through grants, which had been difficult for them to access in the past, to set up their own companies, which will then employ their fellow youth. Of course, the young man who spoke last, the accountant, said that a number of young people don't believe that these are real. Probably we need to do more elaborate packaging so that you listen directly to them. They have been exhibiting their products, and these are real. A number of young men have benefited through this program.
We believe that there needs to be a mindset shift in Nigeria, especially for our young people. And so the platform is going to take that to the next level. Young people need education in self-reliance, in self-belief, in leadership, and in entrepreneurship skills, because 90% of the businesses that fail because folks do not understand the entrepreneurship skills of marketing, accounting, and so on. And so the platform will provide that. And then, Mr. President, Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, we have not left out our fathers. We have not left out the mega billionaires. Those folks who are constantly appearing on Forbes magazine as billionaires, international billionaires, dollar billionaires, mega billionaires. We are now asking them to come and sign up at 9net.com as super mentors so that they can now mentor the next generation of Nigerian business leaders.
APC Presidential Campaign Organization has questioned the rationale for commencing another recruitment exercise in the migration service when those behind the last one that ended in tragedy had not been penalized. Spokesman for the campaign team, Gaba Shehu, said in a statement that the authorities had not even deemed it fit to fulfill their promises of compensation for families of the 19 victims. It described the move as insensitive, adding that Nigerians do not deserve to be treated with contempt by their leaders. APC campaign spokesman, however, said his party would treat the people with respect and dignity if the candidate Muhammad Buhari is elected as president. President Goodluck Jonathan is to host a special edition of the Presidential Media Chat tomorrow, Wednesday, February 11th, 2011. A statement issued by the presidency indicates that the program will, as usual, be broadcast live on the network services of the Nigerian Television Authority (NTA), Federal Radio Corporation of Nigeria (FRCN), and the Voice of Nigeria (VON) from 7 p.m. It added that the chat will center around current national issues. Associates of the national leader of the All Progressives Congress, Bola Tinubu, have raised the alarm of the presence of soldiers in the vicinity of his Lagos residence in the last 3 days. Media aides of the opposition figure said in a statement that soldiers numbering about 30 had been sighted in 3 patrol vans and an army truck close to the gate of Tinubu's private residence along Badiron Road in Ikoyi. They say the soldiers were first noticed on Sunday at about 11 p.m. in an army truck stationed 500 meters away from Tinubu's gate and had been around since then on surveillance. Tinubu's media aides noted that as of Tuesday morning, 2 army vans were stationed on both sides of the house along Badilan Road. But reacting to the development, the APC leader said he will not be intimidated by what he described as a show of strength and possible harassment. He, however, insisted that they would remain resolute in his advocacy and support for the rule of law. The ruling People's Democratic Party is insisting that poor preparation by the Independent National Electoral Commission is the real reason behind the postponement of the elections. PDP also said that, like the All Progressives Congress, it was frustrated by the development, having traversed the whole country on campaign. Director General of the party's campaign organization, Amadu Ali, said at a news conference in Abuja that the shift in date is clearly meant to save INEC from national embarrassment. The former PDP chairman argued that aside from millions of permanent voters' cards which have not been distributed, there are issues with card readers and ballot papers.
It's possible to have a credible election when millions of Nigerians are disenfranchised because of lack of permanent voters' cards. There are also reports that the PVC readers are not fully distributed and tested. How can INEC handle cases of faulty card readers, especially in remote areas? Do they have a credible plan B in situations where voters are lined up and the card readers refuse to work? Ballot boxes are reportedly inadequate. Adequate training of staff for the election had not been concluded, and other problems facing INEC. Quite clearly, the shift in election date is meant to save INEC from monumental embarrassment. I would like to reiterate that the PDP is ready for the election.
Following the rescheduling of the 2015 general elections, Ogun State Governor Ibikunle Amosun has asked residents of the state, party supporters, and all Nigerians to be calm. He says the postponement is a blessing in disguise for his party. He also says the non-collection of the permanent voter cards is not an excuse for INEC, adding that the nation has never voted with a full percentage of voters before.
They say, I said, no, nobody should shout. Oh. Just wait. Indeed, probably it will be a blessing in disguise for us. Probably we will have beaten them maybe 80-20 or 9 will be total. Because, I mean, everybody is ready now. Now, is this what they want to do? We are ready for them. We are not going to fight. We are going to fight with our votes. And in any case, it gives everybody, at least for me, we've covered the 19th local government. You are here. We have only one local government to go, which we are starting tomorrow. So we are ready for the election. But they said they are pushing it forward, no problems. If they talk about even the cards, yes, even in Nigeria, we are the least. Ogun State is the least in terms of percentage that have been distributed. But for me, go and look at the history of Nigeria. The best we've achieved would be 57, 58, maybe at best 60%. Even it's strange when you have 50%. We are used to between 40-something and maximum 50-something, unless we have the right results. It's only where the right result that you will see people saying they score above 60. So if majority of the states within Nigeria have received in excess of maybe that 55-60%, for me, I'm comfortable to go into the election.
The Lagos PDP has taken its governorship campaign to Ikorodu town as part of efforts aimed at selling the candidature of Jimmy Agbaje to Lagosians. Oluwaseyi Adegoke, who was at the Ikorodu town, filed in this report.
The PDP supporters gathered could not hide their excitement upon the arrival of Lagos PDP governorship candidate Jimmy Agbaje at the venue of the rally. Lagos PDP chairman Tunji Shele says he is confident that his party will win the governorship election in the state come April 11. PDP leader Body George, in his speech, which was a mixture of both English and Yoruba, urged residents of Ikorodu to vote for Jimmy Agbaje. Time to speak? The governorship candidate Jimmy Agbaje says public servants will be treated well and that their welfare will get a major uplift if he is voted for.
We recognize the importance of the public service, and that means that we are going to take care of the public servants. It is a very inhumane government that continues to pay 12,000 naira national minimum wage against 18,000 national minimum wage. The Lagos State government continues to pay 12,000 as minimum wage to its workforce in a Lagos that is about the most expensive in our country. That in itself is inhumane. Again, you are aware that the allowances are not paid. Their leave allowances and all are not paid. In fact, the Lagos State government cannot boast of giving the staff correct pay slips. It produces a pay slip that does not make sense to even those that collect it. That is because it is not open and transparent in what it is doing. We want to assure you that our government, by God's grace, come May 29, will reverse all these negative points of the present government.
The party also continued with its campaign against violence before, during and after the elections. Oluwaseyi Adegoke, CoreTV News, Lagos.
It's CoreTV News at 6. We'll take a break. Stay with us.
From time immemorial, women have birthed life, shaped character, and by extension, influenced the society. Moremi of Ife, Emoten of Benin, Queen Aminat of Zaria, all women of influence and power.
Whether it's before election, after election.
How ironical. Women being so powerful, yet have few grounds in decision making.
They see you as a wife, and I see you as a wife to a man.
We are talking women in politics.
A woman will be bold enough to stand up and say, I want to become president of Nigeria.
Only on CoreTV News. So it's CoreTV News at 7. For more information about us, you can also catch us on our social media platforms. On Facebook, it's facebook.com/CoreTVNews. On Twitter at CoreTVNewsNG. And on YouTube, it's youtube.com/CoreTV_news. In an effort to stem the tide of insurgency and illegal possession of arms in the country, the Kwara State Police Command has paraded suspects arrested for trans-border arms smuggling. The police leadership in the state has thus reiterated its stance in the fight against insurgency by doing all possible in tackling influx of illegal arms and ammunition. Rashid has more.
While displaying the truck laden with a cache of arms and ammunition, the Kwara Police Chief briefed journalists on how the command was able to nab the transporter gun-running suspect.
We were arrested by the Nigerian police men attached to Kosovo on an operation we call stop and search operation. So they suspected the vehicle and they sought to see what was the contents, and by so doing they discovered it was carrying cartridges, live cartridges, and it has some compartments, very hidden compartments. And, the ACCID has to go there by himself, and that's how we're able to even get the actual numerics of the content of the vehicle.
The suspect, whose name remains undisclosed, explained his mission and destination before being apprehended in Kosubosu, Barutin local government area of the state, by men of the police command.
I was arrested because I used a gun to threaten a civilian. So in which I confessed to the police that the gun belonging to me belongs to my late father, and the bulletproof too. So the police have to go to my house twice to make some of this, to raid some of this from my late father's wardrobe. I'm really sorry for everything. Like, I was supposed to build my dad's image, my late dad's image, but I know where he is right now. He's very, very sad for what I have done.
In a related development, The police command paraded one Momo David for illegal possession of arms.
The underlisted items, like you can see, are recovered from one individual. We had a Beretta pistol, and this gun belonged to Ondo State Police Command. One locally made barrel gun. We have 133 pieces of 7.6 mm ammunition. That ammunition belongs to AK-47. And you know how very powerful. In Africa today, there's no small weapon that is as powerful as AK-47.
How were you arrested?
At Kosom Boso.
Now what do you do? Where they
okay, the arrest, I carry S-beats with the arrest me.
Where are you from?
From Ghana.
So, you are Ghanaian?
I'm half Ghanaian, half Nigerian.
Okay. Where do you carry this and where are you taking it to?
I'm from Ghana. I'm taking it to Ibadan.
To who?
Ibadan.
As the suspects head to court after investigations are concluded, more security measures have been put in place in the state following the approach of electioneering period. Rashid, CoreTV News, Ilorin.
The police authorities have redeployed 33 police commissioners as part of efforts to reposition the force. Police spokesman Emmanuel Ojukwu said in a statement that the movements are also due to openings created by postings to the National Institute of Policy and Strategic Studies, KURU, in Jos. Some of the highlights include the deployment of AK Shodikbo from Oyo State to the Special Fraud Unit in Abuja. He is to be replaced by CP Musa Mohammed, who until now was NIPSS. Oyo State's Labour Party governorship candidate Adebayo Aloakala has promised to restructure the education sector in the state if he emerges as the next governor of the state. Akala stressed that the sector has suffered setback due to inadequate funding and neglect by the current administration, which will be a thing of the past with him at the helm of affairs.
We will not label our school children and our teachers. Effectively, you can teach what you have fluent in your class. You know what I mean? You can effectively teach what you have fluent students in your class. We started it. Governor started it with us. I was the deputy governor, he was the secretary. So what if you not do about that? We started it. I was the deputy, he was the SSG. So we did it and we continue to do it. So that we don't deliver our teachers, so that they will have students that they can control. In those days, our teachers will know us by name. When you are going, they will call your name. So that's the salary I want from my teachers. But that's able to recognize their students by name.
Speaking to the workers who gathered to endorse the former governor, Director General of Labour Party Campaign Organization Kola Balogun, and the party's senatorial candidate Olu Abiala, say the decision to shift the date of the general elections clearly shows panic.
We're ready for the election
at the federal level.
Whenever INEC is ready. And I hope there will be no further postponement after this last one. So that's my opinion and that's our position.
It's unfortunate, but there's nothing we can do about it because the change of date was informed purportedly by the security report. And it's like they are saying the life of the presiding officers, of the supervisors, of all the hard hoc staff are in danger. Nobody will want to take that risk. And for that, INEC will be forgiven.
As part of efforts aimed at bringing development and government closer to the people, the Osun State government, through the State Independent Electoral Commission, has conducted a referendum throughout the state. The yes or no vote is required by law in the creation of the local councils. The Osun State leadership, however, says it entertains no fear in the constitutional recognition of the proposed councils. Rashid monitored the exercise he found in this report.
The idea to create more local councils out of the 30 existing ones in Osun State was first mooted in 2013, and since then, stakeholders and interested communities have been clamoring for the creation But a referendum is a critical part of the whole process. And to ensure this goes smoothly, the state government declared a work-free day for people to participate in the exercise, which was described as timely by the people and orderly by the officials.
Local government council is a grassroots council that is more closer. So we are closer to Egbedo already before, but we shall be more closer to the new local government council. That is why we are very happy. Very happy that we see it as a sort of independence in the administration of the community.
People are turning up, and since the morning we are here, there's an improvement in turning out of the people to come and vote. And they are doing well. The line is well arranged, and people are complying with the instruction given to them.
To the Osun State Government and House of Assembly, all that is needed has been put in place in recognizing the proposed local councils, irrespective of the experience of states who have created local councils in the past.
We are following the same suit. That is what is required by the Constitution. That is what we are doing here. And the part of it is it has gone in our assembly. It has passed the first reading. Before we can make the second reading, that is, it will include the referendum.
We will not have such a problem. We have taken our time to go through the processes as enshrined in the constitutions. By the time we ultimately make returns to the National Assembly, it will say true.
To the Osun electoral chief, despite his satisfaction with the exercise, the state still needs to take some steps to actualize the local council's creation.
By virtue of Section 8, subsection 3B, is to conduct this referendum and to see that 2/3 majority of the people are in support of creation of the local government area. I will transmit the result to the State Assembly. Thereafter, the State Assembly has the responsibility of doing its work.
With the move for the creation of the council's gathering momentum, questions will no doubt be raised. The answers to these poses lay with the concerned stakeholders in the exercise. Rashid, CoreTV News.
Meanwhile, the Osun chapter of the People's Democratic Party says the referendum put together by the state government is nothing but a fraud. The party also questions the motive behind the move. Its publicity secretary, Bola Ajo, says Aregbesola should explain his game plan for fixing the referendum just a few days from the proposed presidential elections, but for the postponement.
Well, as far as we are concerned, it's only Aregbesola and his cohorts that can explain what game they're up to. For us to have, if not for the postponement of the election, for us to have an election slated for the 14th of February, and for some other fifth columnist somewhere to now propose another election of a sort, referendum is another election of a sort. For 9th, is there some confusion of a sort, but we'll see how it goes. We are, as a party, we are law-abiding, we are due process compliant, and let us wait and see how their game plays out.
Officials of the Ebonyi state government are accusing the secretary to government of the Federation, Pius Ayim, of fueling crisis in the state. They are consequently seeking the intervention of President Goodluck Jonathan before the situation worsens. Attorney General of Ebonyi State, Ben Igwenyi, and the Commissioner for Information, Ifeanyi Ike, expressed the position of the state government at the news conference in Abuja. They also claim that AIM investigated anti-graft agencies against indigents who are believed to be too close to the state government.
We have to cry wolf where there are actually wolves. The presidency should weigh in and call to order the EFCC, ICPC, the top brass of Ebonyi politicians in Abuja to stop this play of power on the integrity of Ebonyans before it turns out very sore and unpalatable to all and sundry, including themselves.
We have an NN commissioner from Ebonyi, a federal commissioner. From Ebonyi. We have somebody who is chairmaning revenue mobilization and fiscal commission, and so on and so forth. These are the people who are the neck of the state government.
That's CoreTV News at 7. Thank you so much for watching. Please join us at 9:45 for primetime news. I am Gift or Gete. Enjoy the rest of our programs. Good evening.